Hey guys, what's going on? I'm the Prologue, and welcome to my newest Let's Play. This is LP number 4, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance for the GameCube. This is a strategy RPG for the GameCube. Not sure exactly when it came out, but this is a game I'm rather fond of. This is my file for my practice run. This is the file that I started yesterday, the first time I tried to record this LP, and there was an error and none of the game audio showed up. And hopefully you guys can't tell too much over the course of this video, but I'm kind of pissed off right now. So, we're gonna start a new game. I actually have a new recording setup. I'll talk about that a little more. First, difficulty levels. I'm not gonna do easy mode. I don't need the hints and whatnot. I'm not going to do difficult mode either, though, because while I have played this game a good bit, I sometimes get the impression that I'm not actually that good at it. And if I play difficult mode a lot, we'll see later, I have kind of a self-imposed rule to make this more challenging. So if we use difficult mode, I would just have it to reset the game way too much, and it would just get annoying for the purposes of the LP. So I'm going to do normal difficulty. Another way you can make the game harder for you, which I'm not going to use, is random level ups, meaning characters' stats just improve randomly rather than improving according to their class. I'm going to go with fixed level ups. If you do choose random level ups, we'll see that the game gives you some items that you can equip on your characters, but we'll wait, because first there's one of these CGI cutscenes. There's only like 6 of these in the whole game. I have mixed feelings about the voice acting, but they're pretty well animated.
Well, Ike, you had enough? Oh, missed.
Failure.
Ike? Oh no!
What time is it, folks? It's flashback time.
Missed that song.
Ah, you're up. About time.
And with that, we start the Prologue chapter, Mercenaries, which is just a tutorial level. The first actual chapter is also a tutorial level, really, but the difference is that there are no stakes in this match. Are you alright? Yeah, I'll be fine. So, the Sleeping Prince awakens. Father, I can't believe you. I know those are practice swords, but they're still heavy. You have no right to be so rough on Ike. If this is too much for the boy, he'll never make it as a mercenary. But, Mist, you don't have to worry. I told you I'm fine. Ha, you'd better be. Now grab your sword and get ready. What? Don't tell me you're going at it again, but just until I land a single blow. I'm not giving up until I can get one good hit in on Father. I like your resolve, Ike, but it takes more than a strong will to... Aha! I knew I'd find you here! Oh, Boyd. Boyd is awesome. Hi, Boyd. What brings you here? Nothing special. You said you were going to get the boss, but you never came back. I got picked to check up on you. Oh, sorry, I got caught up with Ike and my father. It's nothing. Besides, I figured I'd get a good laugh watching Ike get worked over by the boss. You look fine. What happened? Nothing at all. I'm sorry to disappoint you. You just missed it. Just a minute ago, he was out cold. Missed? Huh, sorry. You came at just the right time, Boyd. You can be Ike's sparring partner. What, me? I'm beginning to think it would be better if he sparred with someone closer to his own skill. I understand. Thanks for your help, Boyd. I don't know about this closer to his own skill business, but I'm ready. Alright, I'm ready for you. Let's go. I'm not actually sure if I'm gonna read out every tutorial windows. I'm not going to turn the tutorials on because I will just be your tutorial speak. So this is the tutorial map. How many times have I said tutorial in these few sentences? I don't know. So as you can see, the game is sort of organized like a grid, and it's a turn-based game, so first there's the player phase where you get to move your characters, and then the enemy phase happens. But in this tutorial map, Boyd's not going to move, so he's not going to do anything till we get right up to him. The blue range is where you can move, and the orange range is where you can attack. So we are going to attack Boyd. So yeah, I do have a new, recording setup set up. I'm using my blue snowball mic that I got for Christmas. It's pretty awesome. I'm liking it. I mean, there's a big difference in sound quality. But yesterday when I tried to record this stuff, okay, Boyd doesn't even attack you even if you're standing next to him, so you just go and attack him again, and it's pretty much a guaranteed win. Yeah, yesterday when I tried to record, I have no idea what caused it, but having some kind of technical difficulties where the game audio just didn't show up in the videos. That wasn't too bad. Boyd, you're such a loser. Shut your trap. Good work, Boyd, that's enough. Oh, alright. New tutorial, leveling up. Those little things will come up, I'm not going to pay attention to them. Your swordsmanship was decent enough, Ike. Don't forget how it felt. It won't always be this easy. I know. Now that you're done warming up, it's time for you to face me again. I was hoping you'd say that. But first, Mist, right here. I'm not sure that I'm actually going to read out every line, because when I recorded this before, my mouth was getting really dry and I was just screwing up all the lines. Always take time to heal your wounds in battle, even small ones. By the time you think you're in trouble, it's probably too late. Don't get into that situation. That's actually really good advice for playing this game. So the vulnerary she gave us is a healing potion. It has 3 uses in total, and it restores 10 HP each time. So we definitely want to use one, or we're not going to be able to beat Grail, Ike's father. So Ike is the main character in the game, and he becomes extremely powerful later on as long as you get him enough EXP that he can level up decently. And Grail, of course, is holding back, because normally he would just be so massively overpowered. But yeah, I guess I was pretty pissed off about losing the recordings from yesterday, but I guess this is kind of a good opportunity to re-record them better, because I was noticing a few issues with my commentary last time. But the first few episodes, I'm going to be doing a lot of tutorial speak, so I think this is pretty normal to win this battle with 1 HP. I'm going to be doing a lot of tutorial speak here with explaining how the game works in case you're not a Fire Emblem fan or whatever. Or if you, maybe you've played Fire Emblem but not this game. Because the thing about Fire Emblem games is in each game they make some slight tweaks to the game mechanics that makes it kind of confusing to switch between games. I'll probably be talking about this more later because I played the demo for Fire Emblem Awakening, the new 3DS one, just a couple days ago. As of this recording, 2 days ago. You know, I wasn't really giving it my all either. That is such a lie. Bah. So, Father, does that mean you finally admit that I'm ready? What, to join the company? To take on a job? Yeah, I mean, Boyd's already out there on the battlefield. I'm ready. I'm tired of being a trainee. Listen, the difference between you and me is that I'm a professional. A professional who just got beat. That was just random chance. Random chance. I love Boyd. Boyd is just awesome. But okay, Ike is starting out back as a mercenary. So, Grail, his father, owns the mercenary company that they live in, and these are going to be all sort of our main characters for the entire game, actually. I won't actually use all of them in combat, but anyway, here's the first real chapter, called The Battle Begins. I'm going to include the tutorial and Chapter 1 in the same episode. Might be a little long, but oh well. Earlier on in this Let's Play, I'm going to kind of try to do 1 chapter per episode. Later on, when the chapters are longer, I won't be able to keep that up. But for now, it works. Good morning, Ike. Today's your first day as a professional soldier, isn't it? Yeah, and I'm ready to go. What you are is late. The others were suited up and ready at the break of dawn. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna read through every line of text. Much as I like to do my terrible excuse for voice acting, it just doesn't work if I try to do it for too long. Captain Titania, preparations are complete. Oscar's pretty cool. He's a cool guy. He's Boyd's brother. There's the three brothers, Boyd, Rolf, and Oscar, but Rolf is just a little kid, so we don't get to use him in combat. Yet. I'll take your word for it. I hope I'm not scrolling through this too fast now that I'm not reading out every line, but, you know. Alright, so we're off to take out some bandits in this village called Chaldea. I'm probably going to mispronounce a lot of things in this game, because there's a lot of names where I'm not 100% on the official pronunciation, but here's the map. This is just going over the basics of how the map works. We're the blue, they're the red. You do have to play pretty cautiously in this game. Now is a good time for me to explain. Well, first off, the victory here is C's, which means we have to get Ike, the team leader, to stand on the point that the boss is standing on. Meaning, first we have to take out the boss. But I'm going to be taking out every enemy. Gets us extra experience and whatnot. I believe they're going to explain the weapons triangle here. This is a pretty important gameplay mechanic. Basically, it's sort of like Pokemon types, but not quite as extreme. But basically, axes are good against lances, lances are good against swords, but weak to axes. Swords are good against axes, but weak to lances, as the characters just explained. So generally, you want to avoid attacking people who you have the disadvantage against. I mean, it's not a guarantee that you will instantly die or anything like that, but I don't know why Ike happens to have 4 iron swords, but he does, so just roll with it. It's funny, because iron swords are gonna start to become not as useful when we get into the game, and they become outclassed by better weapons. Iron swords are like the most basic types of swords. So, you want to try to attack people who you have the advantage against in the weapons triangle, but you can also attack people who you're neutral against, like, you know, attacking people with the same weapon. So, my self-imposed rule when I play this game is no deaths. Characters in this game, there's this line that gets repeated a couple times, you only have 1 life, so don't die on me, and that's sort of a hint about the gameplay. Ooh, steel sword, which we can trade to Ike. Because, yeah, if a character dies, that will work out pretty well, and that will put him in the range of the sword guy, I think. Which means he has a high chance of getting attacked by someone with a disadvantage. Alright, no deaths. If a character falls in battle in this game, not all of them die. Ones who are important to the story will survive. But you won't be able to use them again in battle, because they're too badly injured. And people who aren't so important in the story, Sawana, will just die. Straight up die permanently. And you can never use any character who falls in battle again. And if Ike falls, or certain other characters in some situations, but Ike is the team leader, so Ike's the only one who this always applies to. If he dies, it's game over. But anyone else dies, you can keep playing on, but you'll never be able to use that character again. But what I do when I play this game is no deaths. I don't let anyone get killed. So yeah, sword guys attacking Oscar, that's what I expected. Sword wielders tend to be the fastest, and swords are some of the lighter weapons out there, but they don't do as much damage. Each character has a class. Ike's class is unique. He's a ranger, which is a sword wielder, but he just has really good stats all around because he's the main character, so why not? I'll send Boyd around here and kill this guy from behind. That doesn't actually do anything for you. I just feel like doing that to get him over on that side more. So Boyd is a fighter, which is a class that specializes in using axes. So every class, there's 20 total levels, and then once you get them, if you level them up again after reaching level 20, they will have a class change, and reset to level 1, but all their stats will improve, and they'll be able to level up more. Also, class changes, when you get a class change, sometimes you can get new weapons that you can get the ability to use new types of weapons. So this guy here doesn't have enough movement range to destroy this house like the other guy did. Only a couple types of enemies can destroy houses. But we don't really want to park Oscar there either, since he's not so good against axes. So Titania is what people call a pre-promote, meaning she starts out already having had a class change. So she's way stronger than any of these other characters. I'm gonna trade Ike the steel sword. It's better than the iron ones. But the problem with that is that she can, if you use Titania too much, she will just soak up all the EXP, and all the other characters will become underleveled. So I actually avoid using Titania. She's really strong, so she's handy if you do use her, but I save her for emergencies pretty much. So Boyd can't reach her. I'm just gonna have Titania go in here and visit the house. I'm just putting her on visit duty since she isn't actually fighting. Seraph Robe is a very nice item that, let's see, what's this guy's movement range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so he can attack up to there. I'm just going to keep Titania out of fights. The Seraph Robe is a very handy item that permanently increases a character's HP. I'm going to save that till later when we get a mage who's rather frail. So, the game gives you these bands, which allow you to determine how characters level up in, they're useful for if you set the level ups to random. You can use that to get the same effect as having the fixed stat improvements. But when the stat improvements are already on fixed, they don't do anything for you. And once you get the ability to sell items, you can actually sell those bands and make quite a profit. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use them for money. Okay, this guy's going to come up, and let's attack him with Ike. Let's come over here. Now, the guy standing on the boss square, bosses typically don't move. So the steel sword, it does more damage than the iron sword, but because it's heavier, Ike doesn't get the ability to hit this guy twice. You can only double hit them if your speed exceeds them by a certain amount. And using heavier weapons helps improve your skills faster, and they do more damage, but it can also slow you down. So you don't want to use them if it causes you to have a big speed disadvantage. So this guy up here, this sword-wielding class is called a Myrmidon. Even though Ike doesn't uses swords, he's not a Myrmidon. He's just a ranger because he's the main character, so he just gets to be special like that. Think you're so special, Ike? Yeah, think you're so cool? Okay, I'm done. But yeah, Titania is a paladin, which is like the upgraded version of the class that Oscar is, which is just called Knight. In this game, they just call it Knight with whatever type of weapon they specialize in, like he uses lances, and later on you can also get axe, sword, and bow knights. But I find that kind of confusing, because there's another class that's just called Knight, and they're like these heavily armored foot soldiers with high defense. So I think I'm gonna do what the GBA games do, and call the Mounted Knights Cavaliers. Just to avoid unnecessary confusion there. So Ike's HP is kind of low, so I want to have him come up and attack the boss. Yeah, I'll stick with the iron sword, but I'm not actually going to attack. I'm just going to have him use the vulnerary and then wait for the boss to attack him, because he would be in danger if he fought the boss without healing. In later missions, we won't have to rely entirely on items like vulneraries to heal, because we'll get healer characters that can use magic staffs to heal. Alright, I think I'll be able to make this episode a bit shorter than, in the first recording, so that's an advantage. Oh well, I think I've gotten over being so pissed off about that, but it's still annoying. I think that's the first time I've had to redo a recording. Anyway, this is Zawada. He's a jerk. It's funny, a lot of the characters in this game are pretty well written and have backstories and whatnot, you know. Each character, unlike in a lot of strategy games, this is a strategy RPG, so each character is sort of their own, each unit is their own character. They have a personality, they have backstory. Some are better fleshed out than others, but this is a pretty well written game. But the villains, or I mean, there are some villains who are also pretty well written, but these just like minor guys who are just bosses of individual levels are so one-dimensional. Sometimes it's hilarious how hammy they are. I mean, they usually don't say much, but some of them, it just makes me laugh. This guy's not having much luck hurting Ike, because his accuracy is not that good. Axes tend to be less accurate than other weapons, but they do a lot of damage. And defeating bosses generally gets you a ton of EXP. If he had had more EXP than that, he would have probably gotten an instant level up. I guess I'm gonna discard the more damaged of the iron swords. I don't know why he starts out with that many. But let's seize this spot and clear the map. Ike will indeed be fine, and has surprised Titania. Okay, if paraphrasing the dialogue is probably worse than reading it all out, but what you gonna do? I want to make it move faster. That's also part of the reason I don't want to read everything line out, is that the dialogue, the episodes just get really long if I take that time. Yeah, you were a real standout. I'll never forget the sight of you so keyed up you broke your own axe. Some of these lines, though, are kind of hilarious. I don't know. I like Boyd. Boyd's funny. And he becomes really freaking badass later in the game. I mean, he is one of the best characters. Ike is actually probably even more useful for him. Crap, I forgot to wait on the save screen because that's usually where I end off the episode. Chapter 2 is Rescue. Next time on Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, we're going to do Chapter 2.